Let's get into our very first match. It is, of course, going to be Marquette up against Villanova, our returning champions from last year, who stumbled a little bit at week number 1.
Yeah, Villanova ran into a surprising Bulldogs team. Butler, a team that didn't have a series win all last year. They doubled down on like their roster, doing the whole, hey, we're going to stick with the same 5 guys and work from there. And Butler surprised Villanova in that first game on the back of Renegade Max. So in the mid lane, Villanova needs more consistency there. However, they got back to it. They took care of business in game 2. They got their victory. So maybe something that it was just like, hey, a learning lesson, and better to learn these lessons early on. But when you're playing teams that you're supposed to beat, you need to take care of them if you want to be a champ.
Well, I think one of the biggest things with that is it showed that Villanova can bleed, and if there's a team that needs to exploit that, take advantage right now, it's got to be Marquette. Like, let's take a look at the roster right now, because this is a squad who is 1-3 coming into this weekend. They need to put some wins here up on the table against Villanova. We look at this roster now, and as you mentioned, they did do some role swapping, so we'll see if this does change up a little bit here going into this next match. But still, a lot of good, solid talent. Foe the Fall in particular looked so stellar last week.
He did look stellar in the games that they won. In the games that they lost, he looked really bad. And Foe the Fall needs to find the consistency there. He needs to be that leader. Right now, they don't have stability in the bot lane. When they won, it was on the Galio. He needs to continue to have leader-type performances. If that means he needs to play initiation-type champions to say to the team, hey, look, we're having communication issues. Hey, we're identity issues. Follow me. I'll be the guy that says we're going in. Let's find the victory.
And on someone like a Galio as well, that's definitely when you have that hero's entrance, when you can set up, follow up on your teammates, you can make those calls. Let's look across the board though with Villanova. Again, our returning champions here. This new roster did make some changes. They're building around Cryonics. He is their main ADC. He's the guy that we need to see step up once again. Obviously, a lot of other amazing talent here. Pixel Drum, every time he came out of the jungle, it was devastating. But even talking to this team, they say, look, Cryonics is somebody we have to play around. We have to get him fed.
Right, and if they're going to find their way through the game, they need to look better than what they did, specifically in the mid lane. The native 192, coach, captain, leader of this team, didn't have a stellar performance in that game 1. In game 2, they bounced back, but again, that was mainly through the bottom side of the map. And this looks like another team that's having split calls, communication issues. And although they weren't weak per se, but they weren't clean. Even in this clip here, right? They get double, they get a triple, but then all of a sudden, like, hey, look, you're feeding over a kill to a late game Cassiopeia. You know what Cassiopeia can do later on. If you're champ, you know what these team comps can do. In this fight here, Vayne goes untouched this whole time. Who's our target? What are we focusing? Let's focus Sion, but Sion is just not doing anything. Ignore him, go kill the Vayne. That's the only person doing damage. That's what needs to be said in these communications. That's not what's being communicated right now by Villanova, so therefore they need to figure out these communication issues and move forward a little bit more clean to get back into their championship form.
Oh yeah, and when we spoke to Villanova after that last match, apparently there was a bit of an issue with maybe some comfort on some of those champions, particularly in the mid there, something that you touched on in that interview.
Right.
And I think that's something we're going to have to keep in mind here, because if some of these players are a little bit out of practice, they're a little bit rusty.
Yeah.
And the champs aren't quite there. A strong, smart ban phase, a strong, smart draft phase, this is where teams can really exploit these gaps. So let's actually get into our draft right now, because it all starts right here. If there is a chance for Marquette to upset here, and I would say this is probably a bit of an upset if they take down Villanova, it's going to start right here and right now with some very smart bans to start things off.
Yeah, Marquette has an interesting champ pool that allows them to play with pocket picks. Obviously, meta picks have been coming out, especially with the pro leagues finally fleshing themselves around. And this is one of the great things. Again, Riven ban right off the bat. It's like, hey, look, we don't want to deal with any kind of mechanical prowess here. Riven, once gets going, is very difficult to stop. And even when she falls behind, it just takes like one team fight where Riven comes in late, picks up 2 or 3 kills, and then she's online. Broken Wings is just super scary. You don't want to have to deal with that. So that gets taken away. Jax removed by Villanova, late game scaling. Kha'Zix taken away from Pixel Drum, and Pixel Drum was a monster on this team.
Yeah, there's a champ specifically mentioned, the Kha'Zix, but Pixel Drum is just so terrifying. Really smart ban there from Marquette. I love it. Some very high mechanical top lane picks. I mean, Jax is, you just press his buttons, you do this. But Riven, as you mentioned before, the mechanical prowess there needed. And then a strong support taken off the board here as well from Villanova, so going to be impacting that bot lane a little bit from Marquette.
Yeah, it's a little weird that they're taking away a Zyra. Zyra, not necessarily one of the meta champions right now, but always deals a lot of damage. I think if you're playing a poke type champion that wants to deal a lot of damage, you would take away Brand. Brand did get nerfed a little bit in this last patch. We are playing on 9.2, so that's something else that that the teams have to consider as we are playing on live. Urgot taken away again. Nerfs hit Urgot, but still you're seeing so much Urgot in pro play, and what either in the mid lane or the top lane, that versatility in champ select, which has been like one of the trends this year so far. There aren't really defined champions per role as historically there has been, right? So if you do pick an Urgot, that can go mid, that can go top, and we've even seen Urgot jungle a little bit, which is weird, but something that can get done as well. So getting rid of the flexibility, helpful, but Nocturne locked in, there's no doubt where that's going. That's going in the jungle for Aegon. Yeah,
for sure. And one of the things that I'm so glad you mentioned, because we're seeing a lot more mind game potential come out with a lot of these drafts. We're seeing players starting things off saying we're going to draft champ. Okay. Get to that in a second. Drafting these champs that can be flexed in a bunch of different directions, which really makes it harder for their opponent to try and draft these favorable lane map. Okay, you want to talk?
Yeah. Well, just because like the point you're making right here, Yasuo can go in multiple different lanes. Actually, so can Lucian. Both of these guys, like yes, Lucian normally AD carry in the bottom side of the map. Yasuo normally mid laner, but can go top, can go bot. So both those guys could go in weird places to just create favorable matchups, and leads to the point that you're making in terms of mind games. Lane matchups and just getting a favorable lead. And if you're Marquette, you might have like laning deficiency here. You're going up against guys that have more mechanical prowess, a little bit more individual skill. So now you're trying to make sure you don't fall too far behind in the lane. Villanova now has the flexibility to say, you don't know where we're going, so we can take a favorable matchup wherever we want.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, and this is, if they lock in, this is going to be interesting here from the native 192. But no, this is really cool to see how even from week 1 to week 2, we are seeing a very different prioritization in terms of these champs coming out right now. It seems that there's a lot more trending maybe towards more comfort picks here than just defining what's meta, because again, what we're seeing in the LCS and the LEC is not quite currently up to date with what we're going to be seeing on ladder. So I like the fact that these teams are saying, we're just going to go back to what we know is good, we know we're comfortable with, which is what I always prefer these collegiate players to do, because again, the top few percent that really define wins based off meta champs is probably less going to be in effect here.
Right. As we do have a lock-in of Zach. Zach gets locked in for the jungler at Pixel Drum. Opposite side, we didn't touch on it. Echo and Shen for Nova Chosen. And for the fall, Shen can go at support, and we've seen support Shen pop up a lot over the last couple of years. So again, flexibility in all 3 picks so far. We can't say with full confirmation other than the junglers. Zach and Nocturne both going in the jungle. Moving on to the banning phase now. Bot laners are being focused, so maybe not a support, maybe support. We're not exactly sure. Caitlyn taken away, Kaisa taken away from Marquette. So again, you get the top AD carry in Lucian. They leave Ezreal up, so maybe they're not afraid of Sable Shadow's Ezreal. They did see Sable Shadow get a victory on Caitlyn last week, so Villanova takes that one away. I like that ban. It's a target ban, it's a comfort ban. Caitlyn's just always a champ that's always going to be in the meta because she has the extra range. Nami taken away from 2 Woke. That was 2 Woke's champion from last week's win over Butler. She looked very good on that. Hopefully there is more in her champ pool than that. Villanova also has their other support in Bilito. Bilito played the Thresh. So now 2 Woke subbed in, will be playing the Thresh. And it's like, okay, it's the same champion. I wonder how that gets navigated. Will the hooks still be the same? Will it be aggressive? Because Bilito was landing a lot of those hooks.
Oh, he was.
But the substitution, I think, was more of less about mechanics and more about communication, initiation, and strategy. Because he was landing hooks, and we saw a clip. He landed a hook on a Sion that was running right at him, and then eventually blew him up, which led to a 3v5, and then Butler took control of that game. Back on Marquette's side, Sable Shadow locking in the Sivir. Sivir late game AD carry. Gets team all over the place, and with this, it's very much a go team composition. I like this here by Marquette. Marquette's win condition is get Nocturne fed. When Nocturne presses R, paranoia, no one can see anything. Everyone else press R, join into the fight. Sivir, run with everybody. Shen, ult on in. Echo, get the speed boost from Sivir, and then hop on in and then use all your displacement. Marquette's win condition is relatively clear. On the opposite side with Villanova, we'll see what this last pick is, but Villanova's is win lane, win game. You've got Ornn there. You want a team fight. A little bit more. So Marquette's all about catching out the opposing team with their pants down, using paranoia to lead to some paranoia, lead to some lack of communication, miscommunication, and catch Villanova as they're not ready. Villanova's like, hey, we're going to set up camp right in front of the Dragon, right in front of Baron, right in front of your jungle. What are you going to do about it? And if Marquette's a little bit further behind, it makes it much harder to fight against a team composition like this. Lucian is mobile. Yasuo does a lot of damage, has his own CC. Ornn ults it, is just so disgusting.
Yeah.
And with Zach in place as well, it could lead to very difficult things.
I feel like there's a lot more sort of individual little mechanical things that are going to be happening here for Villanova. Some small duo, some skirmish,
Right.
more idea of the skirmish coming out. Whereas Marquette, as you mentioned before, it's all about these big team fights, these big initiations, these all-in fights. Marquette, I think, has a bit of a simpler win condition. Everybody press R, everybody go in, have a good time.
Right.
Whereas I feel like if Villanova can survive the storm of that that initiation, I should say, then at that point they're going to be in a pretty good spot. Once you can, bring in some different counter initiations to Call the Forge God, those kind of things. If they can time that out perfectly, we'll see what happens there. We're actually going to go to a quote real quick here, which is from the Native 192. If any of the teams don't ban my Yasuo, beware. That's a strong statement if I've ever heard one.
Yeah, that's definitely one. And again, he gets the opportunity, and he's leader, he's the voice. We got a lot of quotes from him because he's one of the guys that's returning here for Villanova, and he now has the chance to show off the mechanics and get to play Yasuo and swing a sword around and dash through champions. Everyone loves to see that every now and then, except in your own solo queue game when your Yasuo is 1-9.
Yeah.
However, don't think the native 192 will have too much of an issue.
Well, we'll see if he has any problems as we get into game number one. Clearly, people just watched that new Riot cinematic that just dropped because they made Yasuo look oh so good. I single-handedly want to take down 100 enemies in one swing. That's always fun.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
All right, so we're into game one. On the blue side, it's Marquette. Nova Chosen's at top. Aogan at jungle, Foe the Fall in mid lane, Sable Shadow at bot, and literally this at support as we have the invade coming off early on. And 2 flashes burned with the one simple invade. We don't see a lot of invades early on here by teams. They didn't want to make the first mistake last week, but Villanova throwing that script right out the door and benefiting from it. 2 flashes gone.
Yeah, and it's interesting to note here that Tuwoke was actually unable to play here, so it is Billyto. You mentioned it in the draft here, but it is Billyto whose Thresh we saw, and as you said, landing generally a lot of great hooks in that last week here. We'll be playing, I believe Tuwoke actually had some issues where the power went out at her building or something, and she literally just can't play, which is kind of unfortunate, but Billyto, we know, can make some big plays on this Thresh, so we'll keep an eye out for that as the game does progress. And again, burning 2 summoner spells to start the game is always nice to see.
Well, with that substitution, that's very interesting because, again, she was brought in due to the lack of strategic overall meta knowledge there from the support role in terms of the lead communicator. And that's exactly what is needed against this Marquette team composition. When Paranoia goes down and Nocturne turns off the lights, will the rest of Villanova be able to stay on the same page as they can't really just do it individually at that point?
Yeah, so again, the communication is gonna have to be key. You've been talking about it, all at the start of this and going forward, how important that is gonna be, and even moving forward, because every single week, these teams are gonna be getting better and better and better. They're practicing together more. They're scrimming together more. So having this communication is only gonna get more important as every single week teams are improving. So the ones that can improve faster, especially in these early weeks, are gonna have a huge advantage because these scores carry on. If you can do well at the start of the season, it will make a difference.
One player I want to keep my eye out for here for Marquette, I think we touched on Foe the Fallen earlier, but Nova Chosen was the consistent one, I would say, for Marquette. In both wins and losses, he played well, particularly well on tanks. We know that there's areas for growth here on the bottom side of the map with literally this and Sable Shadow. They tried swapping roles last week. That didn't work out as well. And Aogan was feast or famine. So we get to see a first opportunity here at a feast with Aogon going to the top lane.
Aogon's looking to rotate in here, forced for the flash. Is Whimsical Melody. A couple more autos are probably going to get this done. There's the committal from Aogon, and first blood is being achieved. We'll be able to get out there. Totally fine. Calculated.
You know, again, just misplay there by Whimsical Melody. Eventually used the flash on Ornn, but flashed right after the fear went down. So if you flash away, lose that fear, then there's no issues. We take a look at that play one more time. You see exactly what I'm talking about. Whimsical Melody should just flash right here, but waited too long to flash, got feared up, and then that gave Aogon the okay to get in there, right? If the fear doesn't go down, you just walk away safely, but instead gets feared up as we have action back on the bottom side of the map.
A lot more action going down as Villanova is returning. Oh!
Pixel Drum does go down. Sable Shadow, nice dodge there. Billy Toe's very low too.
Minions?
This is just a matter of time.
The minions? Hang on, Billy Toe. You need to okay, totally fine. Calculated. As Sable Shadow is still forced back underneath the tower here.
Foe the Fall gets a kill in mid lane.
Nicely done. So we're seeing pickups across the board right now. Let's actually see how this fight started. Break this down for us, Egon.
Yeah. It looked like, again, just literally this, getting caught out. The bot lane should know, hey, Zach's got to be around because we just sent resources up on the top side of the map. Relatively straightforward gank there by Zach from behind. Does have his passive there to keep himself alive. And then right here, just stuck under the tower is Sable Shadow. Can't do anything about that. Eventually falls. Nice turret juggle there by Villanova to take care of business on the bottom side of the map. All the while, though, Foe the Fallen taking down the native of 192. And if there was a weakness on this team, I wouldn't even call it a weakness, just something that has been inconsistent. It has been the native 192. When they lost, he was the one that opened the door for Cassiopeia for Butler.
When it's so funny, too, because it was his Echo in game number 2 that came back. He's like, oh, I'm so confident on this champ. This is what I can do so much for. He should know this matchup, having played again. And we even talked about it going into this. He's like, oh, if I get my Yasuo, like, it's GG, this is over. So he's playing on a champ that he's comfortable with, into a champ whose kid he knows. This is not a matchup he should be losing.
No, it's not, right? You have a little bit of range there, Echo, when he throws the Time Winder, but otherwise, native should be okay. That, like, solo dying shouldn't happen, especially when you know that, again, your jungler's on the bottom side of the map. Why are you spending resources in a 1v1 where you can die, right? So, good kill here for Foe the Fall, and the team's now starting to stabilize a little bit. You can see the CS discrepancies. We have another gank in the mid lane, and the native has no ult, and that's just easy pickings there for Foe the Fall. And Ogon, right place, right time. He's going to hit level 6 too. This game's going to start picking up here for Marquette.
I have to say, Aogon doing work so far to start this. The 2 times that he rotated out of the jungle, he found kills both times, able to put his team in a pretty good spot right now. So we are seeing an initiation going in up top right now. Knocked up for hours, for days is Nova's chosen. And now going down, great team synergy there. The CC chain from Villanova was pretty spot on.
You know, what I want from these guys is, hey, if our jungler makes the first move somewhere, we need to be ready for their jungler to show up. And so both times Pixel Drum doing exactly what you're supposed to do. You see where a gank is happening, gank somewhere else. If you're not there for the counter gank right away, gank somewhere else. And so Nova's chosen could have tried to outplay that one a little bit better. Did have flash, dies with flash up. You hate to see that. I guess worse is using flash and still dying, which happened to Whimsical Melody earlier. But both teams' players need to realize, hey, look, we just ganked somewhere. We just showed where our pressure was. Pressure might be coming my way. I need to play a little bit smarter, a little bit safer.
Yeah, and I think like it's also some of the hype of securing these ganks and getting those kills, and you're feeling confident, you're feeling good as a team, and then the second you start thinking about what your team's doing, you're forgetting about what your opponents are doing, as we kind of saw there. But it's so interesting to note still, too, though, as this fight up top is breaking out right now. Actually, keep an eye on this. Nova's chosen.
He does have flash.
Pretty good spot right here. There's the ult going in. The follow-up from Whimsical Melody, committing everything onto this fight.
Nova!
And he does get the kill. Whimsical Melody with the outplay, committing all the resources and making it work. Nicely done.
Yeah, big play there by Whimsical Melody. It did look a little dire for him at first as we see a gank on the bottom side.
That initiation from the Zac, the follow-up with the hook.
Oh, here comes Nocturne.
Nocturne is going in. Paranoia, everything is being popped, but all 3 members are still alive. Actually seeing the pull, the stun, the knock-up, this follow-up kill once more from Villanova, looking like another potential one onto Nova's chosen. He's being forced back onto the tower. Speaking of towers, it will be doing its work on Zac for now.
Yeah, so a couple kills picked up there. Triple for Cryonics in that last team fight sequence. And I think just Sable Shadow and literally this, feeling the wrath of Bilito. We saw the hooks land last week. It got punished in a couple of them. This time it goes straight into a death and feeding his AD carry. Good taunt there at the end by Nova's Chosen to pull in Pixel Drum. He gets a decent bounty from that, 500 gold bounty from that last kill, because Pixel Drum has gotten a little bit of a lead. As that was the first hook I think we've seen Bilito miss so far. Keep track of that, because Bilito's been pretty darn good with those hooks.
He has been, but one thing to note during that fight was that we actually saw the native 192 dive again in the mid lane here, not having a great start to this. Look at that going in Foe the Fall, just looking so confident.
Hit him with the taunt, too.
Hit him with the taunt, yeah, I gotta say. This is, I feel like, is as much great work as we're seeing the bot lane of Villanova doing. It's being countered by this mid right now, because we are seeing now a very fed Foe the Fall, the player that I highlighted on Marquette to start things off, showing he can play more than just a Galio.
Yeah, Foe the Fall has a lot riding on his shoulders right now at 3-0-0 and leading the team here. I'm a little bit worried because he doesn't have as much backup from Nova's Chosen as before. Nice little pathing there by the native. Gets the knock up and decent damage. Ult is available for Foe the Fall. Nice flash away by native.
Nice dodge. Really nice. And now he's going to be able to fall. Doesn't have a whole lot of mana to work with now. And Foe the Fall is in a great position as Aogon. It's going to look to rotate in. Once again, the timing on this is so stellar. The native 192 feeling just too confident, but not having the resources to pull it off.
Yeah, being that far behind, trying to take a fight with just boots makes no sense. You can see all of the attack speed items that he's picking up right now. Lazy recalls lose games there, Foe the Fall. You're in a little bit of trouble. Thank God his jungler's nearby. Stretching Strike not going to land. Pixel Drum misses out on another gank opportunity, or do they turn it around?
Turning it around now. The party bush is here trying to escape right now, but not having any of it is Foe the Fall. However, this is the moment where Thresh may be able to go back in, body blocking the hook. Nicely done as Foe the Fall is attempting to get the kill. The box is there, but we do see Bilito doing work. He's now in full retreat, though, as Aogon is trying to chase this down. The rest of the members of Villanova are here trying to make this happen. Aogon very low, not a whole lot of HP to work with. Is going to get taken down, and we are seeing the collapse coming in.
Yeah, overstay by Marquette. They really wanted that kill. Pixel Drum doing a solid job with a great kidnap over the wall, forcing everyone to go across that as Cryonics wants a little bit more. Flash forward, Sable Shadow, heal bait, stays alive. No! The Ardent Blaze gonna land. Look at that man with the double guns. Cryonics 4-0-3. He's the most fed guy in the game.
He was the player to watch for Villanova going into this and showing us why. And this is only game number one. We have so many more amazing games coming up today as well. I can't wait. St. John's versus Seton Hall is going to be another stellar one, so keep an eye on that. Because this first game, oh my, if they're all starting off like this, we are in for one amazing day of action. Now the native 192 is in full retreat. Aogon, once again, every single time he comes to the mid game, he looks for these kills. Bilito is on the flank, trying to keep his teammate alive, but it is not going to be nearly enough.
Oh my goodness, both teams overstaying yet again. Villanova now trying to get too greedy for that mid lane tower. And with that nice ult from Nova's Chosen to help out his team, join into the team fight. Taunt holding everybody in place. Now they're going to turn their eyes to Rift Herald. Top lane going to get chunked down a bit, but Nova's Chosen will get back in time. And Whimsical Melody wasn't able to pick up too much off of that rotation. Usually you try to punish when a Shen leaves the lane. TP wasn't worth it at that time because your fed AD carry died right away. And so he gets a couple of ticks down from the turret plating, but not a ton. So good rotation from Marquette as they focus onto the top side of the map.
I like this. And it feels like Marquette's playing angry. They're making plays, and they're not afraid to make plays. They don't like the fact that they're 1-3 coming into this. They are executing perfectly, and a lot of it has to come down for these jungle rotations. Shelly is going in. There's the stun, the taunt, the follow-up, the call, the Forge God trying to keep himself alive, going back underneath the tower, but he is in a rough spot right now. The tower is getting low, but he's actually might not be too bad. He's chasing things down. His teammates are rotating in. I might have misspoke. They might have overstepped. That is now Marquette totally on the backstep. Nova's Chosen force flash over the wall. The rest of Villanova is looking to try and chase him down as Whimsical Melody is still up here in the top lane, going toe-to-toe with literally this, who is barely going to be able to escape, or I might have spoke too soon as the native 192 wants to hunt this down.
Dash.
He's got the resources to do it one more, and no!
Not quite yet. Native thinking about it, will not get it. And again, just teams overstaying. I think that one, after you get the first early gank, as we're just, hold on to that point. Here comes Zach.
Hang on.
Nice
There's
taunt.
the taunt. The follow-up is there. Literally, this is playing like an absolute beast with no fear underneath the turret, which is still getting pretty low, but has more than enough HP to work with. What a back-and-forth brawl. Villanova technically comes out on top. They still get the turret in the bot. They still get the collapse on top, but D-Gun walk us through this fight again.
Yeah, unfortunately for Villanova, good idea, let's push the tempo. We're playing aggressive. You can see the rotation from mid lane, so they get there first, but your damage dealers get split up. They're all on the right side. Literally, this is the only one on the left side, and they're attacking a minion. Just go kill the Ornn and get out of there. And great slingshot there by Pixel Drum, leading to a knock-up. Nice final breath ultimate from the native 192. On the bottom side, Cryonics taking advantage of Sable Shadow. And literally this is like, hey guys, I'm here to support you. I'm not here to support myself. Someone kill this Ornn.
Please, he walked away. That was part of the best part of all that, is the fact that I think they just assumed they had the kill. They got a little bit too greedy there. They tried to go for a little bit too much, and it bit them hard in that situation. They were not able to secure the turret. They were not able to secure that kill, and they gave up a couple of dumb deaths to boot, which means if you now look towards the gold at the top of your screen, a 5K lead for Villanova after what looked like not a bad start for Marquette.
Yeah, definitely not a bad start, except on the bottom side of the map. Already a 3,000 gold lead. That's a whole item, and you know, we highlighted this skill discrepancy on the bottom side of the map. I didn't think it would be a 3,000 gold difference so early in the game, as Nice Fear going to mean that Call of the Forge God isn't going to land, and easy kill there for Nova's Chosen. Probably wanted that to go over to Aogon, but Dragon being started up right now. Oh, see you later for the fall.
There was an attempt around this Drake pit, as we do see Villanova collapsing onto that. They did lose the Rift Herald earlier on, so they are going to try to even out these major map objectives a little bit here. But I have to say, the more I look at that push in the top, the more I feel like it was just such an overcommittal. Having that key map objective and still not being able to secure the turret, which now means you have to allocate resources to it now. Finally, it will go down, but this is so much later than it should have been, and it allows Villanova to do so much more on the map. You want to talk about tempo? Villanova is now so much further ahead in that regard.
If Marquette wanted to do that, again, I don't have too much of an issue with that, but you've got to execute it much quicker. And I think it's like what you said. Everyone was trying to be too polite and give the kill over to someone else, and then no one took the kill, and Ornn just stayed alive. And that allowed Pixel Drum and the native 192 to rotate over and get back into that team fight on the top side of the map, and that's what's important here for the native 192. He fell behind early, now has his Phantom Dancer completed, wants to get the crit, which leads to more damage, and he has that first core item after being pretty much held down pretty hard solo by Foe the Fall in the mid lane. The other person that you want to look out for here is Aogon on Marquette. Forced to flash over the walls, Biluto, because if he falls behind, Nocturne is just like a 3-second timeout. You turn off the lights, take a quick nap, come back, and that's all Nocturne's worth. Nocturne needs to be able to get onto a player on Villanova and assassinate them or force all summoners. Right now, Cryonics should be able to get away if he has flash and he has heal, but later on in the game, he needs to just be a deletion button, and it needs to be coming soon, because Nocturne will fall off. You can just build armor and you'll get away from it, as Foe the Fall getting caught here in the bot lane.
Beautiful CC chain going in and getting that first pick off with ease, and Aogon is going to be the next target. He joined the party way too late to do anything meaningful other than just politely give over on a silver platter a free kill to Villanova.
Yeah, Foe the Fall needs to have better vision if he's going to split push. That's what you want to do with an Echo. You want to win the 1v1. Get big enough where you're a nuisance and require 2 enemy players to come rotate over. However, when they rotate over, you need to be ready for it. He dies with not only flash up, but his ult up as well. Sable Shadow with a nice spell shield stays up. Flash away from Pixel Drum, and Villanova just continued the pressure. And this is the play that Marquette wanted to do on the top side of the map. You see how quickly Villanova is moving down here, right? They're like, hey, we have this, let's go on to the next one. We have a couple kills, let's go on to the next one. Okay, what can face us? It's just a Sivir, it's just a Janna.
Whoa.
We don't get engaged upon.
Literally this, nicely done there, disrupting the initiation from the Zac, as now the rest of the team is trying to go in. Biluto is going to be the target, but look at the damage from Cryonics coming out the whole time as Aogon just gets absolutely deleted. The knockup is there. Look at the bring back from the Zac. Literally this is now on the wrong side of the line of scrimmage. That is 4 quick kills for Villanova.
Oh no, and Marquette, it all goes wrong for them. They want to get a 5v4 team fight here. Nova's chosen, channels his ultimate on the top side of the map as you see him finally fall, but he gets canceled by Whimsical Melody. You saw the shield come onto Aogon early. He went in, decided not to go in. Nova's chosen ults him, so he goes back in. But then the ult gets canceled. Nice knockup by Whimsical Melody. And now everything falling to pieces here, especially the base here for Marquette at only 18 minutes into the game for Villanova.
Yeah, the inhib is under massive threat right now. It will go down right here. But now they might have staged a little bit too long. Cryonics, not a whole lot of mana to work with as the rest of the crew is there. Aogon might have overstepped, though. No, the heal keeping him alive just long enough. And it is going to be Villanova walking away with that, just barely. Let's take a look back at that fight, though, that we just saw.
Yeah, down on the bottom side of the map. Again, keep your eyes on Aogon. He goes in after the shield. There we go. After that shield pops up, he gets knocked up. There's Zeal, right? You see Aogon is like, okay, Shen's coming, Shen's coming. Where's Shen? He dies quickly, but Shen gets canceled on the top side of the map by Ornn. That leads to all these kills here. And Foe the Fall doesn't have a front line anymore to deal the damage because you know it's not coming from Sivir.
Yeah, Sivir at this point, starting the game with 4 deaths, just putting her way back. Yeah, she did receive some buffs, the bouncing blades, do more damage to champs, that's awesome. But you still need items to make that work. She still is just not at a point reaching that critical mass so she can just start to rip through these team fights, whereas Cryonics on the other side is starting to look scary.
Right, he already has Blade of the Rune King, and it's just, you got that 2-core item here for Lucian, the Black Cleaver, and it's just not looking good. It's not looking good at all, especially on the bottom side of the map here for Marquette, right? We've harped on it a little bit, and again, the deficiency is now making it difficult for the game to play, right? Nova's chosen, held his own on the top side of the map against Ornn, who got those buffs in the mid lane. Foe the Fall took care of business. Is again, another ult starting in here in this team fight. Aogon in trouble.
Aogon left with nowhere to go. That is one more solid kill. Literally, this is now the one running for dear life, bringing him right on back. Sable Shadow is just not enough of a threat as Cryonics just chases him down. 2 pistols, they only needed 1. Foe the Fall. Again, between a rock and a hard play, I mean, technically an Ornn, so it might be an Anvil. Anyway, Hammer, Anvil, and now we are seeing the Nexus turrets. This could very well be the end of the game as 4 members are dead for Marquette. They will be respawning here in just a second, but this is Villanova now pushing in from multiple lanes simultaneously. The towers are falling and the Nexus is exposed. Yeah,
Foe the Fall is your damage dealer. He's not going to be up. Sable Shadow not going to be up in time either. Villanova taking care of business in 20 minutes. 20:01, and great stuff by Villanova to take the victory in Game 1 against Marquette.
What a solid showing here from them, shaking off maybe some of those week 1 jitters a little bit. And
a little bit.
Okay, maybe a little. Hey, no. Look at that mid lane. There was still a little bit of there's still some week 1 jitters in there.
Bilito led the team there with the Thresh, was able to take charge, and I think on the top side of the map, Whimsical Melody died early on, died again, but then found the groove and great ults there, and once he got into it, then yes, in the mid lane, we had things going there for Villanova.
It was the saving grace of the bot lane, getting Cryonics nice and fed early, and then allowing Yasuo to maybe erase some of those early game mistakes is what brought it back for Villanova. We're going to head on to a short break, but we'll be right back to more amazing League of Legends action. Hello and welcome back. We have more amazing collegiate Big East League of Legends coming your way. We just saw Villanova take down Marquette in our very first game of the day. And I have to say, it was a pretty strong showing for them to start the day. I'm in Verum, that's Degon. And we just got to witness a pretty compelling story, particularly the bot lane game number 1. Ouch.
Yeah, Cryonics taking care of business for everything on Villanova, right? In the mid lane, you had Disaster. On the top side of the map, getting ganked a couple times was Whimsical Melody. So one guy had to carry the load, and it was Cryonics and Bilito. Bilito, again, just looking solid in terms of mechanics. I don't think Marquette asked a lot of macro questions of Villanova. Unfortunately, they didn't get to that point. So Cryonics looking good, and that bot lane is a surefire win condition, a championship caliber win condition, I would say.
I like that. Let's take a look at those highlights again, because as you mentioned, we saw so many great plays, but it was this bot lane that we have to talk about.
Yeah, Bilito just taking care of business, and Again, you could see just hook after hook landing. This one just zoning ult, using his health, walking in, dying. Okay, maybe that wasn't the best Bilito highlight ever, but Cryonics dashing around and taking care of business. But either way, before that, just Bilito just on top of it. And a good thing that happened there was that the native 192 did fall behind early multiple times and then was able to work himself back. So good concentration in the face of adversity. However, you want to stop seeing that early deficit. You're giving it over, and no knock to Foe the Fall. Like, these were straight 1v1s that he was winning. Echo, Yasuo, and he was earning them. But when you're one of the leaders of the team, when you're the captain team, you're the coach of the team, you're the one that's setting the mood. You've got to be the one that is doing that. So stop starting 0-3 before you decide to want to play League of Legends.
Well, and it's ouch. But it's so interesting that you mentioned that, because we have a quote from the native 192 right now talking about the performance in week number 1. And that's, we were disappointed with our performance against Butler, but look forward to going 2-0 this week and hopefully not dropping another game for the rest of the split. Those are strong words.
Those are indeed strong words, and their performance today
Yeah.
in that first game leads to that. And what the scary thing is there is very clear area for growth for this team that just got ran through a team in 20 minutes. Like, let's not take that away. They took care of business against Marquette. However, on the side of Marquette, like, it wasn't all bad, right? In the mid lane, you got Foe the Fall looking good.
He went 4-0 to start the game.
Right, yeah.
But it just seemed, so the difference is that he was then, we looked over the other side. The Yasuo started off just getting solo killed repeatedly or ganked repeatedly, but was able to still transfer into the mid to late game. Well, we didn't get to the late game, but into the mid game, follow up on the rest of his team. He was able to make something happen. But the Echo just didn't really feel like it could do a whole lot despite the strong start.
Right, but I think a lot of that is a symptom of a bigger cause, a bigger issue, which is the bot lane, right? Right now, the bot lane needs to figure out their identity. They keep trying to want to win lane. They keep trying to make plays, and they're dying under the tower, falling too far behind so that the rest of the team can't play. They need to figure that out.
Yeah, they need to figure it out, and it's going to start right now as we get into our draft for game number 2. Let's see what adaptations are coming our way, because as you mentioned, Marquette, they ganked top successfully. They ganked mid successfully. But bot was the problem. Bot was just giving Cryonics 5 early kills, 3K gold lead at the 11-minute mark. That just cannot happen if they have any hope at winning this game.
Yeah, Sable Shadow and literally this need to figure out how to farm safe and not be a liability for this team, because Aogon is feast or famine, right? Foe the Fall, that's their guy. If they're going to win, it's through him. Nova's Chosen, that's usually their consistent player. Again, I think he kind of, like, there was a couple questionable dives on the top side of the map. However, he plays relatively consistently. I think he did again on the Shen. Aogon's your feast or famine guy, and he played really well the first early couple of minutes.
Those flanks were great.
Right? All the leads that happened early on came from Aogon. So if they can't work all together, gets very, very difficult for Marquette to find victory.
Yeah, we're seeing a bunch of very similar bans start things off. Once again, the Riverton Jacks, get them out of there. And I like this adaptation, taking the Lucian off the table for Marquette. He is such a strong ADC right now. However, I feel like for Villanova, they're going to be able to sub somebody else into that role and not have too much of an issue with it here. I love that they're hovering the Zac for the first pick here, because the Zac was such an integral part of the success Villanova found. And it was, we were talking about this in the break, and it was like, why the Zac over something that you mentioned like a Sejuani or other potential, other junglers that we find more tankier, better initiation. But for Villanova, every single time the Zac landed, the Thresh hook was there, the follow-up was there, and it was that execution, clearly something they practiced before.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that Marquette didn't take away the Thresh, right? Bilito has only showed proficiency on this Thresh.
He's only played the Thresh.
He's only played the Thresh, but a good Thresh from a bad Thresh. Almost all players have a good Thresh, but this is a very good one. And
yeah,
let's see what else he has instead. They let that through. We'll see if that gets picked up by either team beforehand. Kaisa and Bran locked in. But back to your point on Zac. The reason why Zac has been working right now is because they're not afraid of Marquette leading to early pressure. Zac, unlike a lot of meta champions in the jungle right now, cannot win a 1v1. He's very good at a 2v2 if he lands his skills. But in a 1v1, in an invade situation, Zac really doesn't have as much recourse. He doesn't do a ton of damage by himself. He's just big CC bot and engage bot that needs items to get tanky. So you want to hold down the Zac if you're the side of Marquette, and they haven't been able to do that right now. Looking on the bottom side, though, they give themselves a stronger lane. Brand is a bully on the bot side of the map. Kaisa plays safe, can dash around, wait till level 6 to see what he does there, but once he gets level 6, again, can reposition with Killer Instinct. It's an easier AD carry to play. It's not extensively a mechanical beast, so get them that. Let's scale. Let's get out of this laning phase and know that, hey, look, we're not going to win this laning phase. If they get aggressive, we have Brand to blow them up, but let's just try not to fall behind with a 3,000 gold deficit like they did last time in 10 minutes. Like, that wasn't so good. Looking back on Villanova's side, Native 192 is going to get another chance at the swordsman with Yasuo in the mid lane. He was like, hey, 0-3 not enough. Let's see if I can go 0-5 and get him.
Let's see if I can go 0-5 and we can still win in 20 minutes. That's my challenge. Free doesn't talk like that. But I do love this Thresh ban. I also love the fact that they did lock in the Ezreal, another S-tier pick there down in that bot lane. I dig it. You mentioned before. I mentioned that they'll be able to sub pretty much anything in for that Lucian. They showed it here. Sejuani coming on the other side, though, so finding some initiation of their own coming in from Marquette. I like this.
I do like the Sejuani pick. It is a higher tier jungler pick. The reason why I would pick a Sejuani over a Zac for initiation is because the Glacial Prison comes out so much faster.
Yeah.
It comes out so fast rather than a Slingshot that does take a little bit of time. However, Slingshot gives you more range, so it's the trade-off there. Sejuani is innately more tanky with the stats and with her passive, so bans going back and forth, but I do like the Sejuani. There it is. Thresh gets taken away. Ornn gets taken away in the bans. Kennen and Shen knocked away. Urgot falling all the way to pick 4 here for Marquette. Give them something stable for Nova Chosen. So you're getting a couple of top-tier picks later on in the draft.
And it's interesting because Kennen often pull out as a counter to the Urgot. So Marquette instantly sees this saying, oh, you're banning the counter, despite the fact that Urgot did receive some fairly significant, not like crazy nerfs, but he did see those nerfs. I actually was going to say I wouldn't be surprised to see the Scion then coming out on the other side for Villanova because that's another pick that the Cannon can do pretty well into.
Yeah,
But
so they go with Malphite, and Malphite just a tanky tank, right?
Yeah.
If you tank v-tank, if you take away an aggressive counter like a Kennen where you shut it down and it's a tank, you just match tanks.
Yeah.
Just match tanks and go from there, and I think that'll work out well for Villanova, and they're just getting real beefy here. With Malphite, Leona, and then a Zac that gets later on. It's going to build tanky. So a lot of the prowess here on Pixel Drum, on Cryonics and Native 192 with Ezreal and Yasuo opposite side. Swain getting locked in. So Swain will be headed to probably the mid lane, top lane Urgot. And so again, Swain just another champion that's like, hey, look, you can dash around with your sword. I'm going to get a lead here. So I like this. Foe the Fall, another champ, AoE-based play. So again, we talked about it all last week. Teams this patch really want to create space for their damage dealers, especially when you're picking a Kaisa that wants to just kind of run around and do a lot of auto-attacking. And so now you have ults that hold people in place. You have Urgot with shotgun knees. You have Swain that's going to hold people in place and just take away an AoE area. And then Brand with Pillars of Flame, AoE area. Don't bunch up or you'll get pyroclasmed. So again, Sable Shadow, a lot of eggs in your basket. I don't know if that's the strategy I would do if I'm Marquette. I would put all my eggs onto Foe the Fallen and then make sure you have a tank for the top side of the map, and bot lane just play Ashe, play Varus, be an engager for us, and you just need to press R, and that's your job.
Even despite the nerfs, I almost would have felt like I prefer something like an Aurelia in mid potentially here, something that can do a little bit more. It's something we're seeing in the LEC quite a bit, and I like that because it gives that other kind of carry option. I know you're kind of going,
those weren't like numbers nerfs; they were like quality of life nerfs.
Yeah,
and
shield
with the patch just coming out, I'm not sure they would be familiar enough to do that. Right, the patch just did come out, so it's like, you know, you're used to like getting shielded or doing this amount of damage, so now you know, hey, I see how much health he has. I know what items I have. I can execute him at this point. That now changes. So, you know, when you're getting into competitive play and you know the exact number, or you know the right feeling, and then you go in and you die.
And it feels different.
It feels different, and then you're behind, and it's really difficult to work your way back.
Yeah, I just think it's great because you mentioned, you know, putting the eggs in this ADC basket, which traditionally is not bad. It's, you know, traditionally it's their carry. That's what they're meant to do. But in some situations, if you don't have enough pressure in the early game, especially to get your carry to that late game where the Kaisa wants to be in order to deal a lot of damage, when the Sejuani goes in, lands the ult, there's the follow-up, they have the CC. Can they execute those kills early? That's my question. If they can find the damage, if they can get those kills, then I think they have a chance in this. If they can't get those, I think they're in a rough spot. We're going to get into game number 2 right now. We're going to see if they can pull it off. Degon, let's see if they can get it done in game number 2.
Yeah, Villanova going for their first 2-0 weekend of the 2019 Big East Invitational.
I almost said 18 there for a second.
Oh, did you?
Oh, almost. Caught. It's January, all right? We're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're pretty thick into January, though, Paul. I don't know about that.
30 seconds.
It's like 20-something day. That's fine. You're right.
Yeah, just looking at this team comps again, it's pretty beefy. A lot of knockups here, holding people in place is Bilito. We get to see him on something else other than Thresh. So it's like, yay that Thresh, was very fun to watch. Yay, we get to see him like land some swords and some stuns.
Yeah.
See some solar flares.
I'm sensing a trend here with his play. Just likes a lot of playmaking supports, a lot of CC going in. It seems to kind of be the trend right now. And I don't mind this at all because Bilito has been consistent. He consistently helps make those pretty big plays. So that's what I want to see here from him to continue that trend. But what I really need to see is the native 192 not get killed 4 times in lane.
So no invades this time by either team. We will keep that as our featured matchup in the mid lane. Swain against Yasuo. Yasuo will dash around and just kind of get hit in the face. He just has to deal with it as the game moves on. Man, it's just how long can Sable Shadow and literally this hold on in the bottom side of the map? Like they had difficulty last game, but all players know a matchup and going into a matchup both on a skill level and on a champ versus champ level, but nobody should be down as much gold as they were last game to Cryonics and Bilito. So it takes 2 on that bot lane partnership, so it's not all Sable Shadow, but they've got to figure it out. Literally this now on an aggressive champ, and I like this, right? Bilito picks into this matchup, and literally this is doing literally what he's supposed to do. Throw down Pillars of Flame very early on, keep Bilito afraid of going all in, but just, oh gosh, right there. Again, that interaction, that Bilito is hitting level 2 on the 9th minion. And you could see literally this run away, right? They hit level 2 first, did the Marquette bot lane. And they ran away, but both of them didn't run away. Like, Sable Shadow stayed, auto-attacked a couple more, almost got in range of the Leona all in. And these are just small things, little things that right now both players aren't on the same page. There it is. There's the engage.
There's the engage, the CC, the follow-up, and literally this. Cryonics missing some spells. He absolutely should not be. Bilito is not going to be the target for Sable Shadow. The re-initiation of the chain CC is going to be there, but it is actually going to be First Blood going to the Kaiser from Marquette, and now it is Cryonics.
What are you doing?
Oh, the sweet outplays from Cryonics. Literally, this might be looking for some revenge, but that was the pick, as now we are seeing a fight breaking out here once again. Nova's chosen to be the target of Whimsical Melody, and we're seeing a bit of a repeat of game number 1. He is going to be able to escape, but his teammate is going to pay the price as the return kills. 3 kills now for Villanova.
Oh, no, and it all goes wrong for Marquette so early on. Sable Shadow gets an early kill. Well played by literally this, capitalizing on over-aggression from Bilito, getting caught. And then on the top side, just a jungle fight. Hopefully we'll be able to get a look at that one later. Yeah, let's take a look at this replay coming up. On the bottom side, look, Bilito's low. Just get that kill and get out. What do you gain from this? You don't gain anything. Now, on the top side, Aogon gets the River Crab, but now in trouble. So Native rotating first, Foe the Fall, getting shoved in, should not happen. And then after that, Nova's chosen. Nice sidestep. But from there, Foe the Fall just in trouble. No flash because he had to flash already, and he just gets caught out. You lose that one early on. And so, again...
Why did he walk back in? Just walked right into the Sedging Strike. Yep. Everything came together. Yep. Foe the Fall just could have walked away. That's when you identify, cut your losses, identify when you are going to win, what you can do in these fights.
And I think that's the pressure of being the carry, right? Foe the Fall knows that he's the guy, regardless of champ, regardless of 2v2, 3v3 potential. He's the guy on his team that needs to be the leader, and I think he just overreached there. You hate to see your jungler fall behind, especially on the numbers advantage, especially if you're the one that let your lane rotate first, but now Ogon going to the bottom side of the map.
We do see the rotation now from the Sejuani. The stun, the chain CC is there from Billyto. He's going to be the stun target, and one more auto will get it done, but Sable Shadow has gone too far, and now it is Cryonic saying, I can make these kills happen. This is Aogon walking in there, just feeding him into the meat grinder that is Cryonics.
Oh no, it's just more hands and face if you're Marquette, just because, again, it's a 3v2. This should not happen. They get their kill, cut your losses, and nice guy Aogon wanted to leave the kill for Sable Shadow. Sable Shadow wanted to leave the kill for Aogon, and then both of them realized, oh shoot, we got to get this kill. Look at this one more time. On the bottom side, good gank off, good pathing by Aogon, realizing the bottom side is where they need to gank. Billyto has no kill, but then Sable Shadow, why are you walking away and then using your flash to pick up the kill? Literally has no control of his mouse and walks into the tower, and then Aogon takes a tower shot too. All three members, like, leading to the MVP of this bot lane, known as the bottom turret.
There were 3 people there. You want to talk about turret juggling, and you want to look at how not to do turret juggling. That was your memo right there, because the carry walks in, tanks it first, gives the life, and then the jungler walks back in, the tankiest member of this bot lane.
Yeah, that was, if you were juggling chainsaws, like, no hands on the side of Marquette right now. There are no hands. Like, let's not no juggling anymore.
And not like in a cool, like, hey mom, look, no hands. Like, it's in you literally don't have any more hands. And you talked about how we cannot have a 3K gold lead, as we now see Aogon looking to go back in. Can he land the stun?
Yeah.
He will have it right there in just a second.
Good gank. There is no flash on Cryonics. Does get held up there, but no auto attack to pop it. Nice kill picked up by Sable. This one's worth it. Take the death there. You get the pot of gold on the end, but nice TP by Whimsical Melody.
Though? Because now we see the rotation from Villanova, and it is literally this who's running away. Solid counter kills there. Okay, that wasn't too bad for Marquette.
Mathematically, that was a big payout because you had a 4-kill Ezreal for just 2. It was actually equal, right? 700 gold going over to one player for Marquette, and then 700 gold going over to Villanova in 350 and 350.
All right. I like this initiation there from Marquette. Finding the Sejuani. That's why I like the Sejuani. I think, okay, they're actually going to be able to get these solid rotations once again, which we saw in game number 1. We saw them executed well. We saw multiple picks off these, but the difference is the mid lane right now. Game number 1, the native 192 was 0-3 at this stage in the game, and now he's just looking really confident into the Swain. Foe the Fall is very much on the back step.
He is on the back step. It's a big lead here for native 192, and good on Sable Shadow to be the most fed member on his team. Difficult that it's taken a couple of his other teammates' lives to get those 3 kills, along with his own life, all 3 kills, right? So it's just going to, again, accelerate the game in ways that Marquette do not want to have the game accelerate, just like this gank accelerating the bottom side of the map.
I was going to say, just like the sword accelerating into the face of Marquette, the jump over the wall, Pixel Drum now getting a little bit low, but still more than happy to keep up this pressure here as Aogon is just sitting back, taking pot shots from Ezreal. Cryonics is feeling so confident at this stage in the game.
Well, just something to notice, Billyto died to the turret. Pixel Drum now getting too aggressive. Might feed this one over. Yes, is forced to split up in his passive, so this is going to be another kill heading on over to literally this, or maybe not.
Cryonics is going in. They do have the stun, but Pixel Drum returns just in time to help them secure that. He will end up falling, but I think still a positive trade there.
2 for 1, yeah.
Yep.
So 2 for 1 for Villanova. Yet again, Pixel Drum getting too aggressive, missing his slingshot. And that's one of the downfalls of Zach. If you miss your slingshot, you're kind of in no man's land. The other team has an opportunity to react as a gank in the mid lane.
We are seeing the gank coming in, though, on the mid once more. Foe the Fall backing up. He's going to have the HP to work with, as the native might have overstepped right now. No. Billyto coming in exactly when it matters, but not quite able to find the kill.
Yeah, Swain staying alive. But the native 192 still has outplay potential here. Both falling, getting close, and nice juicy bait there. Great wind wall.
Absolutely solid there from the native 192, who's able to dodge everything coming his way. Doesn't have a whole lot of HP as Billyto now. He's sensing the potential for some kills right now. The native necessarily doesn't want to commit, but now that the Zach is here, they are more than happy to take this. They are able to see the kill on the Sejuani. Foe the Fall is now the one. The target, no, pulling them back under the tower. Pixel Drum is going to commit to this, but I think he might have committed a little bit too far.
Oh, he stays barely alive. That would have been huge for Foe the Fall to pick up another kill and a 500 gold bounty at that. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get an auto attack off. And Pixel Drum stays alive with a little bit of a taunt there saying, hey, I knew exactly what I was doing.
Calculated.
So this game's starting to evolve into a bunch of fights right now. Now on the bottom side of the map, this is what needs to happen. You know that Leona's up there, so Sable Shadow and literally this taking advantage of it. Good play from the bot lane of Marquette.
I like this brand play coming up from literally this, putting them on someone with a little bit more initiation, a little bit more range CC, able to execute on that, and the Kaisers is starting to do some work. As you mentioned, the most fed member now over on the side of Marquette. 4 kills, yeah, still 4 deaths, but a decent amount of gold to work with there. 12 kills to 7, a fairly even game. Obviously, still favoring Villanova right now. But overall, this is not a bad start from Marquette. They haven't lost too much in terms of major infrastructure, and they do have the potential to get these kills. We've seen it. Aogon, though, just needs to make sure when he finds moments like this, they have the damage to finish it.
Yeah, it's kind of tough. Nova's Chosen is 2 levels down on Whimsical Melody, and it was because of the TP play on the bottom side of the map. Again, Whimsical Melody TPing first as we see the native 192. Oh, taking it to Aogon. Aogon able to dash over the wall and stay safe. But back to the point, Nova's Chosen just not really effective quite yet.
Yeah, there's the root. The stun is there, committing everything onto this Swain. Actually splitting targets a little bit here. Let's hope this doesn't cost them. They are able to pick up one, but Foe the Fall, the key target there was left. That is the native getting a little bit too confident, thinking they had the kill right there. He's now going into literally this, but Foe the Fall is still alive. He's now trapped at 3v1 in a rough spot, burning down slowly as the double kill goes over to Foe the Fallen. Horrible target decisioning there. Target decision from Villanova. Overconfidence.
Overconfidence, but also like a little misplay there by the native 192. He missed his Steel Tempest, the knockup before his ultimate on Foe the Fall. And therefore, Last Breath didn't do a lot of damage to Foe the Fall. Foe the Fall stays alive with that little bit of help. That's all he needed to take care of business, and Bilito dies because of it. I think Bilito made an aggressive play expecting his fed mid laner to follow up, and unfortunately, just a mechanical mistake leads to a little bit more breathing room here for Marquette.
This is exactly what they needed, but down towards the bot lane, this lane we were talking about all throughout game number 1, the Ezreal is still pushing in. Whimsical Melody having a very easy time up here in the top. Again, it's the tank v tank matchup, nothing too exciting, as we're now seeing the potential flank getting caught out right now for Pixel Drum, bringing the team with him, but also
run away.
Yeah, running away right now. The ult going in from Sejuani is going to get the team out. It's the native 192 looking to rotate once again.
A good initiation by Marquette, and then a very good let's bounce and get the heck out of dodge by Pixel Drum, using his stopwatch to keep himself alive a little bit longer. The rest of the bot lane rotating down, and that's why Marquette had to go. It's like, hey, look, he's bringing friends, and their friends are stronger than our friends, so let's leave. As you can see, just the native 192 going 1v1 right now on Foe the Fall.
Using the full combo right there, and Foe the Fall just survives, just walks away a little bit long. Like, just still surviving through this. At this point, the Yasuo is not far enough ahead where he can fully commit into this. Yes, obviously now Foe the Fall is going to have to really watch it. His HP, not a whole lot there. He's potting up, just being just fine, getting some little more HP to work with. But I love the fact that Foe the Fall is content to just sit and just continue to duel this. He's had enough fights so far in this game that he's won, that he's come out at least even, that he knows the extent of his power right now. Whimsical Melody is finally making the rotation down from the top, and this is where Marquette needs to be worried.
Pressure down on the bottom side of the map, and again, there has been a lot of this in this game, but this is the first time it'll be a 4-man gank. Will they be able to call it out? And again, late on the rotation is Foe the Fall, so the 3 members of Marquette all by them lonesome. Nice Pyroclasm coming out of Brand. Max hits there, and it forces everyone off of the dive. They will take the turret because of quick rotation. Oh, and literally this picking up a kill.
Picking up a kill there. Nicely done. All the members are down here for Villanova. They looked like they had everything planned, and now they might have shown that they actually did all along. Foe the Fall is going to be target. He's going to be picked up there. Nicely dropped the bounce, bringing him right on back. So the double kill is there. The turret still stands, and Marquette had a moment. There was a moment, Degon, where things could have been okay.
Marquette, man, like, they just gifted you a free kill. The native 192 died to the turret. You know that there's 4 members there, and you know that they have a Zac. Oh, there's the dragon.
No.
Dragon being started up. Nova Chosen trying to pick up the kill. wasn't able to. Will the rest of Marquette collapse? They're starting to collapse a little bit too late. Oh, they switch positions.
Oh, my Pixel Drum mechanical god! Are we seeing this as all the kills are going over to Villanova? There's 3, and let's make it 4 while we're at it all throughout the story. 3, I should say, throughout this. No, they did pick up the kill to start that off. Either way, so nice. And I cannot believe you just did that, Zach.
I would like to call it, yeah, you would like to give the benefit of the doubt to Pixel Drum as a mechanical god, but that was lucky. Let's take a look at the Dragon fight one more time, as that was some wonky play on the bottom side of the
luck.
map.
We'll give him the benefit of the doubt and call it
way. Look at this. Look at, so Nova Chosen trying to shut down Pixel Drum, and again, miscommunication by Marquette. Good ult, but where's your damage coming from? And then they switch over right there. Flashing over the walls, Nova Chosen, and then taking the blast cone was Pixel Drum. That's what I thought happened. Yeah, he was blind. He didn't see it. And then again, just miscommunication from Marquette. I think everything that was happening to them earlier when they were reacting to the proactive plays from Villanova made it easier to stay on the same page. It was always like, run away. In this one, it's like, hey, are we initiating or are we running? We're not exactly sure. One thing that we know for sure is that Foe the Fall has died yet again to another slingshot. Marquette needs to change the way that they're playing because Pixel Drum has been a monster with how far he's been engaging from on this act.
See, I feel like Villanova heard the story of David and Goliath, but didn't quite read it correctly. The slingshot is supposed to take down the big guy Villanova. Instead, you just rip the slingshot out of his hand. Now you're just beating the other team with it. And this is Marquette now fully on the backstep. They are down in terms of turrets. They are down in terms of gold, almost half the kills of their opponents. Yeah, it's still looking better than game number 1, but at the 16-minute mark, they're backed up out of their tier 2s. And Villanova, yeah, maybe not quite as stacked on the right champs as before, but there's still 8 kills on your Ezreal, and that is a fun place to be.
Yeah, Cryonics just chilling. And I mean, the other thing is like Pixel Drum has been all over the place. If you look at the jungle matchup right there, 105 to 65, 3-0-9 to 0-7-6. That's not a fun pig rider if you're Aogon, and this is the feast or famine that we've talked about from the jungler from Marquette, who also needs to find consistency. We've been harping a lot on Sable Shadow. He's had a lot of work to do on the bottom side of the map, ending up 4-5-2 with the amount of CS that he has. You know, you'd like to see better numbers there, but it's understandable why. But if Marquette is going to continue to grow, they need to find more out of this jungle position. He needs to be at the right place at the right time. As again, he's just kind of forcing this fight. Don't know where the rest of the opposing team is. Nova Chosen should be able to pick this one up. There it is, Fear Beyond Death. Yep. There's a kill on Cryonics, getting a little bit too over-aggressive. Man, not a little bit, just definitely over-aggressive. Shoving, he knew his team was up in the mid lane in vision. And so Marquette find the right play, punish that one, and get a little bit gold to your top laner, who can, if you get really late, can get tanky, but right now things looking a little difficult for Marquette.
Hey, I mean, look, they still were able to go up there and get a solid pick, showing that, hey, we're not out of this quite yet, because this is a pretty sick game, and we've seen things they can change up if they go late. Nobody is out of this yet, and this is sick. This is only our very first series of the day. We have 2 more amazing series coming up. We have St. John's versus Seton Hall. Going to be another stellar set of games. St. John's, of course, our newest member here for Big East League of Legends. Excited to see what happens there. As this series is showing that, hey, look, there are quite a few insanely skilled players in these teams. As the fight is breaking out in the jungle, they're really looking for the target. This follow-up stun, though. Finding the native 192, locking him down, denying the kill. Great team play from Marquette.
Yeah, great team play to collapse there on the Yasuo. Literally this getting a good stun there right before he was going to get auto-attacked for the final kill. And the native 192, I think, biting off more than he can chew. But again, this is where Marquette gets in trouble. They're overreaching. They're
overreaching and being punished once again. Bouncing on out of there. There's the sweet double. Collapses on collapses now. Every single time Marquette looks like they might get ahead, they just give it up.
You know Zach's around the corner.
You know he's there.
You know he's there.
The big green blob.
You don't have vision.
Clover's coming for you, all right?
Why are you going towards where Zach could be? Like, that's how you have to think. Not like, hey, Zach's not here. Where could he be? It's Zach's not here, which means he's very, very close. He has to be close. Go back to your vision. Play around your vision, because Pixel Drum has consistently just walked out of line of sight and then just gone back in.
I think that might have actually been a warding mission. I feel like that might have actually been what that was supposed to be.
If that's a warding mission, then stick to warding. Yeah. Don't start fighting. Run away. You know that here comes Pixel Drum. He's going to be there and buy enough time for the knockup from Whimsical Melody, for Cryonics to go in, for Billytoe to go in. You know how these fights play out. And again, you just lost your tower. You're letting it engage from Pixel Drum. You lucked out that Pixel Drum missed the ult, but here comes the rest of the team.
Here comes the rest of the team, and now we see a very sad-looking Billytoe who's like, I did not get the memo on this one here, guys. Let's run away. So once again, they might have finally overextend. I lied. Billytoe's like, no, this is the moment to go back in. Is Ezreal doing so much damage right now? Watch how fast the HP of Foe the Fall just gets absolutely chunked. One more. There's the slam dunk. The Billytoe decides it's time to go back in, which he does. He might have been wrong.
Good play there by literally this to stay alive on the opposite side of the map. Whimsical Melody taking care of the Urgot. Zac finally did go down. He escaped with barely any health. Cryonics thinking about the shift Q forward. Will not do it. Literally this out of mana. And again, just a big team fight breaking out against Marquette just for overreaching. Flash ulti. Oh,
no.
That feels good. That feels so good if you're Whimsical Melody. He picks it up, and this turret's not long for this world.
Yeah, I have to talk about Whimsical Melody. We've been kind of quiet on him so far this game because there's so much other action going on. He's just sort of been sitting up in his lane and winning it, but he's a beast as well. He knew exactly how far he could push that right there. Baiting the brand back in was Cryonics. You could tell that was a concise play from them. Cryonics was saying, let's bait him. We can do this. And they executed it perfectly.
Yeah, just, again, right? Just biting off more that you can chew, and Villanova being able to punish at every turn, and now be able to make mistakes and punish at every turn with how far ahead they are over Marquette. And the Golden Eagles running out of objectives, running out of time. And again, you don't have a scaling presence that can really carry against a team like this. Again, the Kai'Sa does scale well. You can deal a lot of damage if the game gets late, but there's so much CC on the side of Villanova as you see Aogon get away and break away from that CC chain that, you know, it's good to use it on a Sejuani. It's better if you can use it on the Kai'Sa, and that's what they're going to do in every team fight.
Yeah, they're going in now. The Zac does
Another
not want
flash.
this to stop. 2 flashes burned now. Back to back, the summoner spells are falling like flies, and I think you kind of said it. It feels like Marquette, their eyes are bigger than their stomach here. They look for all this juicy kill. We can go in, we can make it happen, and every single time they're getting punished. Once again, Aogon is there. We are seeing the rotation now. As Whimsical Melody might have gone too far, splitting the fight up beautifully. As Nova shows can be the next one, but following up now is Foe the Fall going right on in. Ult is popped. Everything is going in. The Kai'Sa damage is there. There's the turn though, trying to go back in, and finally Marquette make it happen.
It's the ace for Marquette, and that's exactly the type of fight they want. Villanova going in one at a time, split missions, and not landing their skills. Villanova not looking like the championship type team that we wanted to see. Let's take a look at those fights one more time. Pixel Drum does a good job getting multiple flashes in earlier on Nova Chosen, then getting it out of Aogon on this one, and now Aogon goes down early, but multiple members sitting there. Whimsical Melody, for some reason, just runs into the base and gets chunked, so you're down 2 already. The Pyroclasm doing multiple hits, full hits, and it's just kills after kills and damage after damage. You don't have an opportunity to set up your CC that your team composition is built around if you're Villanova. And if you're Marquette, you get an opportunity to get some gold, put some things back in your coffers, get some vision down so you can get more fights on your own turf. That's what both these teams are doing, walking into enemy vision without vision of your own and getting blown up. And it's not great play here. They need to clean this up on both sides.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, because when we watched the replays back last week of Villanova and their set, the thing you asked for was for them to clean it up. That is what you needed, and we're seeing so much sloppiness right now. This dorm room hasn't seen a vacuum in like 4 weeks right now because Villanova...
There's Cheetos everywhere.
Seriously.
Baron's about to be part of it.
It's about to be, as they are looking to try and get a little bit of initiation up there on the high ground, as we do see the native 192 securing the kill right there.
But Baron gets stolen!
Going in there onto Baron. Nicely done, as we are seeing a trade out now. 2 kills for 1, but Marquette is able to secure the objective.
Yeah, Nova Chosen just on the Urgot walks in and takes it away. I'm not exactly sure what happened to Pixel Drum and his fingers. It didn't work there. And now Marquette has a little bit more life, but Foe the Fall, if he dies here, that's going to be a lot of life sucked out of the rest of this team.
It's being brought back into the fray, surviving for so long, but it is not enough. That is another kill going over the way of Villanova. They've taken a lot of damage for it, though. They are going to try and get down this inhib if they can. Want to try and deny as many of these Baron buffs as possible.
Yeah, it's really important for Sable Shadow and literally this to stay alive. They need to be careful to not overextend. They did ping where Zac was, As we take a look at this Baron steal one more time in the pit, it seemed like it was done and dusted. 1974 is the health as we start this, and Pixel Drum maybe misses it. Does he even smite here? Should smite like now. No, they just focus on it. He does smite, and they just mishit it. He misses it barely by a couple of digits, and that allows a shotgun knee to pick it up.
Oh, that was unfortunate for Villanova. I mean, that's the breath of life that Marquette needs in this game. Is once again the initiation is going back in.
It's gone.
Knocked airborne forever and then taken right on down again. Ouch.
That's
the
all of the
wombo
Baron
combo.
buffs.
That's
all
the wombo
buffs are gone.
combo.
Again, you just gotta know he's around the corner. He's around every corner. If all of your vision of Marquette is on the top side of the enemy jungle so that you don't get engaged from the top side and you don't see him there, stand on that side. You know how far the engage range from Zach is, and consistently Marquette has been hit by this slingshot into Let's Bounce, and it's baffling because they are a team that can win fights. Marquette shows that they can do this, but they're giving away the advantage to Villanova in every team fight. You automatically are going down one player, two players, because you're standing in engage range over and over again.
I feel like Marquette needs to channel their inner middle school dance and just stay arm's length at all times because they are getting caught out and clustered way too much. Finally, we are seeing them capitalize on an overextension from Villanova. We're seeing Israel pulling on through, and now this is a split fight. This is the time Marquette did well. Last time around, is Swain is charging on through Ergon, taking a lot of damage, though, on the flank. Leona not sure what she wants to do, where she wants to look to initiate the knockup is there repeatedly, but the Ergon is just so tanky, doing so much damage. The shotgun knees, watching the Kai's on the flank, is ripping through Billy Toe, still surviving through a lot of this. There's a lot of HP to work with the stun. The follow-up is there. The ADCs finally started to ramp to come online. The Ezreal is like, oh! The reinitiation though for Pixel Drum as the damage from Ezreal in the back. Look at once again, that synergy is there. Now the Ergon is running for dear life. One more auto will say goodnight. Pixel Drum gets it done.
My goodness, for a long fight drawn out there, and I think that was one of the best opportunities for Marquette to have, starting off with an early pick on the native 192, yet again biting off more than he could chew at 8-8-2. As we take another look at that fight over and over again. Just in this replay here, you could see the native 192, just where are you going, dude? Everyone recalls down the middle of the lane. Nova Chosen missing his ult, doesn't matter. Flying in was Sable Shadow, and throughout this fight, Sable Shadow just kind of staying safe, making sure he stays alive. Your damage dealer now is gone, so it's just Ezreal that deals most of the damage. He's being zoned out on the bottom side of the map, so win that fight there. Well, and unfortunately for the rest of Marquette, they didn't focus the big tankies. Just get rid of Pixel Drum, get rid of Whimsical Melody early on. They did not. Ezreal stays alive long enough that he can come and clean up. And again, just a moot point because Marquette goes forward for 3, or I guess Villanova goes forward for 3 in those kills, and they maintain their lead. Super Minion still rushing into the base.
Fo the Fall looked to chase down the Ezreal there, thought he could get it done, looked at that, and I believe the Ezreal actually took that like solo there. We saw it off camera. I believe that was what happened off camera there, and then he was able to come back in, and you saw that perfect reinitiation coming on in from the Zach once more, like just bouncing right back in and combining everything with the Ezreal there. That to me just goes to show that even when things are so chaotic, even when like back is against the wall, Villanova has that spark. They can make those plays happen. They just need to do it consistently, and Villanova will be sick.
They're getting into form. I think that's what the reminders are. They're getting back into form as they continue to practice and, defend their championship from last year. And I think one cool thing here is that Pixel Drum has gone back to the Zach and showing, hey, look, here's a little bit of versatility. Billy Toe showing off, hey, I can play more than Thresh, and taking it as an opportunity against Marquette. And if you're Marquette, you got to take that slight against you, my dudes. Like, you got to bounce back here, and they're getting an opportunity to as they defend this turret.
Look, they've had more than enough bouncing for this series, okay, man? Let's put it that way, as the high ground tower is getting absolutely chunked. They're now chasing in onto Aegon. Nice dodge there. As we do see the initiation in the back line. Everyone is going in. There is everything there. The follow-up, so much damage. And now they're being brought back in, split beautifully. And all the while, Cryonics is in the back, draining damage. Billy Toe's target, that's fine. He's supporting, he doesn't mind if he follows the point. Let me pull back a little bit too far forward under those Nexus turrets. Then it's Cryonics against the world right now. As all the members of Marquette are still surviving, still staying alive through all of this. Look at this. Somehow, Marquette was able to pull on. Villanova stepped too far forward, but Cryonics is trying to still make this happen. There's the shot onto the brand, the reinitiation. Cryonics with the snipe, such a beast. One more on Fo the Fallen. Can they make it happen?
Cryonics staying barely alive that whole team fight. And we're about to applaud how well Marquette fought through that one. Did Villanova bite off more than they could chew? I would say yes, but they're so far behind that they weren't able to punish as much. And Cryonics pushing it all the way to the limit, saving his flash until that flash shift forward and getting the kill there. Huge play by him, and that puts Marquette on the back foot even further. Just a nice play by the Villanova bot lane.
A fight I was convinced that Villanova had thrown. Somehow Cryonics is able to recover and rally Pixel Drum and Cryonics together. Such an incredible duo to watch.
Yeah, good Zonias early on by Marquette. The flash ulti from Malphite, the unstoppable force, knocking multiple people up for Native 192 to go in on. Pixel Drum following up. Again, that's a sick combo that is very difficult to play against. And that was the first time we got to see him do it on multiple members. You see Aegon getting caught out.
He's got a lot of HP, but not enough to work with through all of this. Just wrong place, wrong time. Once again, staggering deaths now. This is opportunity for this Baron because Marquette is not going to have that key initiator, that key tank in this next fight, which basically should mean this is a free Baron for Villanova.
Free Baron, no jungler, no smite on point here for Marquette, so no shotgun knees available this time. And Villanova should just be able to walk themselves right into the base. And you know, Marquette they're running out of fights. They're winning these fights because of overextensions from Villanova, but the only couple of structures that are left for them to overextend to are the Nexus turrets, and those are going to fall fast with the Baron buy.
Yeah, they're going to just drop here. It really comes down to this Kai'Sa. We saw you talked about the late game scaling of this champ. We saw the ability to do lots of damage in fights. We saw it there. Kai'Sa needs to be absolutely beautiful, and we need to see Villanova continue to make mistakes. Because yes, Marquette are making some good plays, but they're just capitalizing on the errors Villanova is making. Marquette needs to try and force out more of these if they have any chance of holding on. But Marquette hasn't taken a single tower yet. Villanova can throw this game like twice, and they're still going to be fine.
Yeah, the later the game goes, death timers do go up. But yeah, right now Marquette hasn't been able to be aggressive in your plays, and I think that's what you're asking them to do right now. Be more aggressive, be more proactive, and right now they've been reactive, and they've been kind of successful at reactive. 40 to 27. 27 is a lot of kills, and as you can see, just Pixel Drum just walking right into Aegon. Aegon doesn't get his stun down and thinks better of it, walks away, and back to wave clearing duty for the rest of Marquette. And the Native 192 should split here. It should just be like a Yasuo splitting down the mid lane. It's literally this in a little bit of trouble, and the rest of the team taking down that turret on the top side of the map.
Yeah, literally this did such a good job at the start of this in the laning phase on that brand, and it just felt like a non-factor the later this game has gone on. Having the less percentage-based damage might have been a factor there as Aegon goes in, finds a nice initiation onto Cryonics, but his team is able to keep him alive. Aegon is now going in way too deep as the rest of the team is there. The Ezreal comes through as well, chunking through, shredding the HP, and that's going to be it. That is going to be the ace, and that will very likely be GG as Villanova capitalizing on Marquette. They tried to be the ones to say go. They tried to be the ones to take it, but in the end, they just went too far. The sick zap play of Pixel Drum shut them down, and that is going to be it. GG. Villanova take the series 2-0.
Villanova taking care of business there, and that last team fight was just the issue that Marquette was in. It's like, hey, if we engage, we need to be able to get everyone onto that engage so that we don't get engaged upon with the team that has all the CC. When you have a Zac, when you have a Leona, and then Yasuo's going to pop up, and then Malphite can ult in as well, and that's what happened. The engagers for Marquette were able to get onto the backline, get onto the Ezreal, but then as soon as they left, everyone was left behind, you know? Like, poor Sable was just engaged upon and had nowhere to go, got knocked up, popped down, and CC'd for about 3 seconds. He had enough time to go ahead and get some Pop-Tarts, go make a coffee, and then come back, then realize, oh, now I can move. I'm dead. And that's how that played out there.
He can't move if he's dead, man. The best CC is death. Don't forget that. Let's take a look at some of those highlights again. Clearly, chat was not flipping enough tables to help out Sables in that last game. Still, some interesting early plays, and I feel like this was indicative of the whole game. If you get some of the whole game in one clip, it's this, and it's just overextensions costing you, mistakes losing games.
Yeah, overextensions and mechanical misplays. Here, it's only 13-10. You just got kills, and then, bam, right into Pixel Drum, and you lose this, what was a 4v4 immediately.
Yeah.
And
we're
then
just-
here again, another couple of fights. These are the fights that they wanted. They wanted split fights. Whimsical Melody getting cut down very early, but unfortunately they were not able to pick up all the kills from that. It just again, overextension into another overextension, and that's all. That's all that she wrote.
That's all that she wrote. As we're now hopping onto a call with the native 192, who's got to be all smiles, got to be
How you guys
happy,
doing?
walking
Yeah.
away with that
I love
2-0-1.
being carried.
I could tell.
Yeah, it was a
No,
good look.
Good game, definitely.
How
I
did you
think
feel?
that everyone on the team played well.
How did you feel about game number
Other-
one? Because obviously you joke about getting carried, but game number one was a bit of a rough start for you there, sir.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the first time I missed a Q that would have secured me my kill, and honestly, I was like really disappointed because that's just something that shouldn't happen. And then really was a bad play on my part, but I was confident that my team could play really well there and carry us out from there. And then a couple of the other kills were just positional mistakes and misunderstanding where the jungler was and stuff like that, but definitely could have played better.
So you say you could play it better. You get 2 wins here, so you move up the standings and closer to defending your crown in the playoffs. What are some of the big takeaways that you guys as a team get from games that are like this, where it's a lot of team fights? It's not very clean. So how do you take things away from it?
For this, I think that really the biggest takeaway was that we were very lackadaisical in our wins, and we weren't really, even though we were winning in decent times, at least in the first game, we weren't too focused on playing the game too really clean, which is not a good mentality. And I think that mostly has to do with my leadership in this game. But I think that we definitely are gonna play better next game, and I think that we have to put more time in order to succeed. But I know if we played the same way as we did today against DePaul or against another team like Seton Hall, we definitely, it would be a lot closer, and it wouldn't be a secure win for sure.
Well, speaking of that, your next matchup next week is up against Seton Hall. So how are you going to change things? How are things going to change going into next week in your preparation and your thought process going into this game? You mentioned being a little bit lackadaisical. What will the process be like, especially for you as a captain, to sort of bring your team in there and really correct things going forward?
So we actually have scrimmed against them. I actually play a lot with their mid laner, Quinton. He's very good. Of course, not going to disclose how everything went in there, but we definitely are confident in going into that game. Really, I think it's just more about changing our focus and concentrating on what's going to win us the game versus in our game plan, without disclosing too much information like I did last time. But
No, I
yeah,
think
I
you did
definitely
good. That's
think
good.
that we have a good game plan, and I think that I'm confident that we'll also go 2-0 there too.
So you guys,
But I do think Seton Hall is a very good team. I think that they're probably third out of all the teams in the league, maybe second. But we'll see if they have a rematch versus DePaul.
well, you guys have multiple ways to win, and what is that luxury like to be able to win through the top lane and win through the bot lane? Have someone like Pixel Drum to engage, also play carry champs, and then I'm sure once you get yourself going as well, what is that like to have multiple ways to play through, and how do you guys navigate which way you're playing? Is it just in draft? Is it a strategy you go in for the week? How's that work?
Really depends on the team we're playing against and where we want to take our advantages, and the draft, of course. Like, a lot of it has to do with what champions are being banned. For that last game, the strategy was probably more centered around me, even though I didn't perform. We executed though, because even if you don't have the carry champion that you should be playing very well, even though if they're not super doing well in the game, you could still win if you execute well in the other roles, which was for example, in the Malphite and the Zac engages, and especially on ADC, having that more safe ADC that still does a decent amount of damage and has a lot of good poke. So it really depends. I mean, we're never we're only going to play through bot lane, or we're only going to play through top lane, or we're going to go through the jungle only. Really, we want to build a team that we can carry and have multiple win conditions in every single lane. And it really depends on how everyone's doing in the games, especially.
Well, it showed here. The versatility in your draft allowed you to overcome some early game issues and obviously take the win 2-0. So thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us, man. Congrats on the wins, and good luck next time.
Yep. And shout out to Han. I know I missed him last time, our top laner. because I forgot. I was completely out of it after last game, but
No worries. Thanks so much.
thank you.
Awesome. So you heard it there. Appreciating where there were some mistakes and also appreciating where they found their successes. I feel like that's a great way to improve going forward. They obviously were still able to take this 2-0.